Good morning from Portland, Oregon, and good evening from Lagos, Nigeria. And
Yes.
it's a pleasure to finally meet. I want to introduce to our audience. This is Taiwo Adegoke from Nigeria, and he is a guitarist. He is an arranger. He's a composer, and he's connecting a new project that involves a music school in Nigeria, and he's done some amazing work. And so it's a pleasure to finally get to meet across the planet. The world is not flat. And so my first question for you, Taiwu, is what? Tell us maybe a little bit about the city that you live in and your country.
Okay. Thank you so much, Peter. I am so happy to be talking with you this evening, and it's my pleasure meeting you. Now, I live in Lagos, Nigeria. Nigeria is a country in West Africa. In Africa, there are like 54 countries in Africa. So I am in western part of Africa. In the western part of Africa, you have countries like Nigeria, you have countries like Benin Republic, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, and many more. So I am in Nigeria. And Nigeria is a country with over 200 population. And where I am presently is Lagos, Nigeria. Lagos is urban and it's a kind of state with over 15,388,000 population. So this is where I am right now. It's so much of a kind of beautiful place to be, and I'm so happy to meet you here.
So the city that you live in is urban or is it a rural area?
No, it's urban. It's urban. Urban.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a metropolis. Yes.
And at this time of year, right now we're in the first day of July, so this would be
Yeah.
summertime for us. What's the weather like in the climate like in your country?
A kind of season here is divided into just two. We have the rainy season and the harmattan season. Right now, we are still in the rainy season, and in fact, we are just in the beginning of the rainy season right now. So rain falls every day, and our climate is wonderful, a very beautiful one. Not too hot and not too cold. So it is just humid, very beautiful. Yes.
And I live in Portland, Oregon, and our seasons are also very, I think, mild. But our rainy season is just coming to an end, and we're finally getting to see some consistency of sun. So it's a contrast. I love the sun.
Uh,
So yes, very good. So that's a difference. And I had asked you about the languages in Nigeria, in particular. How many languages are there in Nigeria?
Yeah, sorry. Over 500 languages and tribe here in Nigeria. There are a lot of language. I must tell you this. And the kind of people, what brings the unity of everybody together is just a kind of common language we have. But we have more than 500 languages in Nigeria. Yes.
What is the common language mostly?
Now we make use of English language to communicate within tribes. So for me, I have friends from so many tribes, from Igbo tribe, from Yoruba tribe, from Igala tribe, from so many tribes. But we do communicate together because we understand English language. And we also have this kind of our own kind of English system that is called Pidgin English, broken English. So we make use of broken English that is normally called Pidgin English. We make use of that in communicating. Yes, Pidgin English.
Excellent. Okay, wow. That is amazing. 500 languages. And interesting how English language has been adapted to help people communicate throughout the country. Uh, so, in terms of music, um, what kind of music do people listen to? Do they listen to the radio, or do people have access to the internet and are?
Yes, I must tell you this. In Nigeria, No, we have middle class, we have the rich people, we have the poor people. There are classes of people now. But I must tell you that we all listen to music. We listen to traditional music that we call local music here, and we also listen to music, foreign music. So in Nigeria, on radio stations, there are so many radio stations in Nigeria. So you listen to music from different tribes. So, but these tribes' music are categorized into some kind of genres. So you can listen to Fuji music, we call it Fuji music. You can listen to Apala music. Now, you can listen to high life music. You can also listen to music, Tungba music. You can listen to pop. You can listen to Afro pop. So Afro music, so many kind of music you can listen to on the radio stations. So these are kind of music you listen to on Nigeria radio stations. Yes.
You to tell us about your first name, Taiwo. What does that mean, and how was that given to you?
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Taiwo. Taiwo means experience life or taste, let's say taste life. So it is just a kind of name. You know, in my kind of tribe, whenever you want to give a name, you want to name a child, you name a child just because of a reason. And your child's name must have a meaning. So the meaning of my name, Taiwo, is experience life, taste life. So that is what it means. No, and also I am a twin. I'm a twin. My twin sister died when we were young. But when you name a twin, you name twin Taiwo and Kehinde. So if you name twin Taiwo and Kehinde, Taiwo means experience life, taste life. While Kehinde means the second child to come out of the womb. Okay, so that's just it. So my name is Taiwo. I'm a twin. Yes. And Adegoke is my last name. Adegoke is a kind of name given to a royal family, and what it means is progressive crown. I should say, yeah, a progressive crown. That is what it means. Yes, yes.
Fantastic, very good. And I didn't know you were a twin. Names represent something that is meaningful, is special. But your education, how's education in Nigeria? Maybe describe a little bit.
Yeah, our education system is, I wouldn't say fantastic, but at least it's all right. I am someone who graduated from the Federal University of Agriculture here in ABEOKUTA, Nigeria, and I have a bachelor degree in agricultural science. And not only that, I also get to specialize in animal production and earth. That is my area of specialization. We have tertiary institutions here in Nigeria. We have the secondary institution and we have the primary institution. This is the kind of educational system we run in Nigeria. So I went to basic primary school. I went to the secondary school, and I also attended tertiary institution where I had a bachelor in agricultural science. Yes.
So you get your degree in agriculture. So how is it that
Yeah.
you took up an interest in guitar? I mean, is guitar a very popular instrument in Nigeria?
Now, in Africa, generally, you see people play guitar, but only few people play the classical guitar. No, we have our own kind of style of playing guitar. We have our own kind of music for the guitar in Africa, but few people play classical guitar. So I got to know about classical guitar lately when I was growing up. It wasn't from my childhood that I know about classical guitar. But I've been playing different style of music for string guitar, for electric guitar, I must say, different kind of Nigerian style of playing before I got to know about classical guitar. And classical guitar fascinated me a lot, and it has given me purpose right now. Yes.
Wow. And so when was your first experience of it? And or maybe who did you hear first? And you said, that's what I'd like. I'd like to do.
Yes, I think it was during 2011. I was able to listen to this beautiful music called Spanish Romance. No, Spanish Romance, I listened to someone play it on YouTube. I had access to internet, so I was able to make some research on YouTube. I was trying to learn more about soukous music, some kind of African style of music before I was just able to bump into someone playing Spanish Romance. It enticed me because it is a little bit different from our own kind of playing. Now, the guitar was sounding like 6 people playing together, like 5 people, different people playing together at once. That was something that enticed me. I really wanted to know how to do that. Can I play together like 6 people? How is this done? It is really fantastic, very amazing. So this captivated my heart to say, I want to go on to learn more about how to play this kind of instrument. I was able to observe that the kind of string that was being used is not steel string like it is for what we use. So it is a kind of string different. How do I go? So I tried to make more research myself about it, and I found out that it is a kind of Spanish guitar, flamenco guitars. It's such a beautiful instrument, and I will really love to learn how to play this. And I tried my best to uh, go on Google to search more about how to play Spanish guitar. And at a point, I was able to see that people read music, people read sheet music. I must tell you this, in Nigeria and most especially in West Africa, we have this notion that guitarists don't sight read, they don't read music. We have this kind of notion that guitarists don't sight read, they don't read music. So when I was able to see that the person teaching how to play Spanish Romance was looking at a book to teach Spanish Romance, it fascinated me. I had to ask people all around me, do you know that guitar has a kind of book? It's like they have sheet music for guitar, just like it is for piano and violin. How can I get to learn this? So I started making my kind of search, my journey on guitar, on classical guitar. And from my own research, I got to know that there are only few people who play this instrument in Nigeria, and a lot of people don't play. They don't play the classical guitar. They don't sight read. They can't even read sheet music as a guitarist. So I took it to myself that I am going to learn this instrument, and also it wasn't that easy. I had to make research on my own, Google, read so many papers, read so many things online. So about how to play the classical guitar for the beginners, how to read sheet music for the beginners. And at a point, I was able to meet some people on Facebook who taught me more about classical guitar. So this gave me this kind of motivations to want to teach people in my surroundings what classical guitar is all about. And at a point in my life, I was able to say that there is more to me learning classical guitar, just more than playing. I have to define a purpose for it. In my country, there are so many music, there are so many folk music in my country that are going into extinction. So many music from 100 years from back, 100 years back, centuries back, that definitely getting into extinction. People don't know about this music again. Can I get to preserve this music? And how can I do this? I think with the classical guitar and with me writing on sheet music, I can do this. I can preserve this music, and I can also share it with people in the world to perform. So I was able to meet with some composers, some people who arrange music for the guitar, people like Ronnie Glazer, Philip Alilovic, Reddy Maku. These are people who took their time to teach me how to arrange, how to compose for the guitar. And with what I have in my mind that I want to arrange music from my country for the classical guitar, I took it upon myself to keep learning, to keep writing. And if you observe very well, Peter, now, if you talk about classical guitar music, composers, arrangers, performers of classical guitar music in the world, definitely you will know there are only few people who are black people who play classical guitar, right? Now, there are only few black players, few black composers, few black arrangers for the classical guitar. So I see it as a need for us to be more than these few people that we have right now. I was able to make some research myself some times ago about different black composers for the classical guitar. I saw that most of them are black people from the diaspora, people from black Americans. There are only few people that are from Africa that are composers for the classical guitar. And if you check them, most of them are not black people. And if you check them, they are not even from West Africa that we have here. So I thought it to myself, can we bring out more composers from Nigeria, from different other parts of Africa for the classical guitar? Can we share our music with people? Can people get to play? I started playing etude for the guitar. At a point, I was playing people's works. At a point, I was playing folk songs from other countries. I thought it to myself, if I can play folk songs from China, folk songs from England, folk songs from France, definitely we have our own folk songs here, which I know some of them. Can I arrange this and give it to people from France, give it to people from England to also perform? So I took it upon myself that I'm going to do this. Whatever it takes, I am going to do that. I did not have any formal education in music. And in fact, in my country, Nigeria, there are no programs for the classical guitar. So it is somehow difficult for me to learn classical guitar in my country here in Nigeria. And this is the barrier we are trying to break. That is why we have a classical guitar academy in my country right now to teach people how to play classical guitar. And I must tell you this, if you can make your research, go through different other countries in West Africa, you will see that there are institutions, but people don't have programs for the classical guitar. There are no society for the classical guitar here in West Africa. There are no festivals, there are no concerts for classical guitar in West Africa. So we want to make sure that we start this, we have a society. Right now, I was able to spearhead having a society for the classical guitar in Nigeria that we call Chocolate Africa Classical Guitar Society of Nigeria. And not only that, we have an academy for the classical guitar that we call Chocolate Africa Classical Guitar Academy, where we enroll students from the street, kids from the street that can't afford to pay tuitions. We teach them classical guitar. At a point, we were able to call out people to support, to donate guitar to us. And we have a music school right now that we teach kids how to play guitar. And not only that, people who are loving this instrument gradually how to play. So we have an academy here in Nigeria now teaching classical guitar. All of this is just to make sure that we break the barrier. I believe in the future we'll be able to have composers from Nigeria for the classical guitar. We'll be able to have so many repertoires, so many etudes, so many beautiful music coming from Africa into this classical guitar music world, for every one of you to perform our music, our folk songs, our folk compositions, and in such a way that a kind of genre of music like tumba, like apala, like Afro juju, like palm wine music can have influence in classical guitar world. So it is just a kind of a feature of Afrocentric music influencing classical guitar music world. So this is just the vision. I am not the only one doing this. I have friends, I have teachers who share the same mission I have with me. We have common goal, and we've been working towards this, and we hope in the future it's going to be a reality. And we are seeking the support of everyone in the world who love classical guitar music, who love to preserve folk music from different parts of the world, to support us in this kind of mission, in this kind of campaign. Now, we are making campaign for the classical guitar in Nigeria for people to know the benefit of playing classical guitar, the unity it can bring when we arrange different music from different tribes. I've been able to arrange music from Igbo tribe, from Yoruba tribe, from Kalabari tribe, from Ijo tribe, so many tribes like this. I have been able to arrange their music, and when they listen to me play music of their tribe, just as if I am from their tribe, it gives them joy. I see that this can bring unity. If someone from another tribe can play my music, the music from my tribe, as if I am from the tribe, it will bring this kind of strong intimacy, this kind of friendship between us. So I see classical guitar as something bringing unity in my country. And not only that, getting me to know more about people. Through classical guitar, I am able to meet you, Peter, right? It is through classical guitar I got to meet you, I get to communicate with you, and now you love my music, you love music from my country, and I am so happy you are going to be performing some of my music and sharing my music too. So I am so happy. This is what the classical guitar has done in my life. It has impacted my life, giving me a purpose, and I think I'm so happy with the way things are moving right now. Yes.
The You said a lot that is so important. I'd like to try to repeat a little bit of what I gather that really impresses me. So your vision from literally, if I can summarize it, from a single experience of listening to a piece which until recently was uh, known as just simply an anonymous composition. We now have some uh, evidence that it may of who the composer may have been, and that composer was from Argentina. And that song, that piece, has resonated throughout the world. I played in Japan, and I played for people who they didn't recognize any music, but when I played that piece, they said, "I recognize it," and
Wow.
immediately loved it. It was one of my mother's favorite pieces, and sadly, when she passed away, that was the last piece I played for her. Um,
Wow.
so music is a powerful experience, and you took that experience and love, immediate love of what you heard, and amazement of how much things you can do on a guitar, a simple instrument, and distinguish the difference between the nylon string sound and a steel string sound,
Yeah.
and the capacities for color, um, and but it was the expression of the music that enamored you towards that, and then you took that passion and you uh, self-educated using initially YouTube, and then you noticed in the experiences that you saw on YouTube that classical guitar teachers were using actual music, and you
Yeah.
realized if I want to preserve and be able to communicate in music, it really helps me to be able to write it down in a way that is as universal as possible. And so you
Yeah.
committed yourself to that, and figured that process out, which is to do it by yourself is a formidable task, because a lot of times people um,
Yeah.
come out begin with that intention, and as soon as they meet with a little bit of obstacles, they give up. But you pursued, and in the process, you realize that there is a wealth of music that you have experienced, direct experience with, within your
Yeah.
country, tribal music that has been around for centuries. And some of
For
this music
centuries.
needs to be preserved and
Yeah.
and can be beautifully arranged for guitar, and that could serve as a vehicle to be able to not only preserve this music, but also to unify your own countries. In that, with so much diversity of culture, we in the United States imagine that Africa is all one culture. We don't understand that there is a multitude of culture and traditions, and our um, part of my passion in this project that I see that you're engaged in, um, is that we have a population who want to know more about their origins as well, and want to know more about the cultural music that they, because of their location in this country, have never heard and never experienced. And even on YouTube, it is very limited to what we
Yeah.
know and understand. So I applaud your not only your effort, but your accomplishments because you have actually um, seen great success in what you've done. I came across your performance, your ensemble performance of Romance, and it utilized um, African
Questions.
rhythm.
Yes.
Yes, the percussion, the whole thing, and I was, I said, "Wow, that's beautiful." So I hopefully you what part of your passion is to be able to bring the music of your country to the world at large, and also
Yes.
inspire people from other countries to play this music, so that your music will be heard in other places. And your image is frozen. We may have to continue this part afterwards. Okay, I wanted to ask you about a composition that you arranged uh, for guitar, duo guitar, and it was performed by Almeto Duo. They are,
Yeah.
the song was Who Made My Baby Cry? I don't know how to
Yeah.
pronounce it in your language.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Peter. Now, this is Who Made My Baby Cry. It's a folk lullaby from Igbo tribe in Nigeria, here, West Africa. Who Made My Baby Cry is a language from Igbo called Onye Mere Wane Bakwa. Who Made My Baby Cry? Onye Mere Wane Bakwa. So the song goes, Onye Mere Wane Bakwa, Ebe Mere Wane Bakwa. Weto sizo weto se weta maragurufe kumunu norachaya weto. So this is the way the song goes. So we had to think of it. Now this is a very beautiful folk lullaby from Igbo tribe. I thought of it. I want to arrange this beautiful music, the beautiful folk song that has been for centuries. And it has been passed across from generations to generations via mouth. So it is mouth to mouth kind of music. So I had to think of it that I want to arrange this music for the guitar. I arranged it for 2 guitars, and at a point I had to arrange it for 4 guitars. And I included percussion. So if you need that too, I'm going to send you the score for quartet and also for duo. So you add the duo performance, but they are quartet performance of this same music too. So Onye Mereba Nebakwa, Who Made My Baby Cry? It means, and let me try to translate it for you. Yeah, the music. It's a folk lullaby that is being sung for babies when they cry. It means, who made my baby cry? Is it Igu that made my baby cry? Who made my baby cry? Is it birds that make my baby cry? Bring spices, bring sweet, bring salt, let me prepare soup for my baby. Now, my baby is crying. Oh, stop crying, my beautiful baby. I don't want you to cry. Please smile. Bring soup, bring stew, bring spices. I want to make my baby smile. Oh, baby, don't cry anymore. Oh, make my beautiful baby cry. Is it Igu? Oh, Igu, go away. Don't make my baby cry. So that is what the music is all about. Yes, it's a folk lullaby, and many Igbo people from Eastern Nigeria do sing this beautiful folk lullaby for kids. Yeah, so I had to arrange it for the classical guitar. And I'm so happy that people get to perform it. And when people from Igbo tribe listen to someone from Spain performing Onye Merewa Nebakwa, they were so happy. Each time they listened to it, they said, oh, wow, can I get to play music from Spain, just like the way they play music from my own tribe? I said, this is possible. If you want to do this, you have to learn the classical guitar.
That is
Yeah,
great.
so that's it.
So you took the song, and your arrangement of it is is a beautiful arrangement for two guitars. I didn't hear the one for four, but I've heard
Thank you.
some of your other arrangements. Uh, uh,
Yes.
the rhythms have there's a multitude of rhythmic structure to the composition's arrangement
Yes.
that I think is
Yes.
especially interesting because it's complex and yet it is so beautifully complementing the melody itself. It's
Yes.
really quite wonderful. The
You know, Peter, African music is comprising a lot of strong rhythm, strong accent, some kind of Africa has their own kind of harmony, the combination of their harmony and all of these things. So when you are writing, when you are arranging, you have to take into consideration the rhythm. You have to take into consideration the harmony. All of this has to be there. That is what will make it distinct. I believe when you listen to it, you are able to see all these kind of offbeats. All of them are there present. So these are some of those things that will make it sound exactly the way they sing it. So I took my time to do this, and it was amazing. And from them, when I wrote this music, I had to share it with some of my friends that are from this tribe. Not no, when I'm arranging my music, I don't just base my findings on just only 2 3 people. I make my findings from so many people from the same tribe, and I will have to arrive at a specific conclusion before I start arranging for the guitar. So I am so happy with their feedback that this is exactly on point, and I'm so happy because of the performance of people from other parts of the world. And I am so happy with your feedback that you enjoy the music. Yes.
Isn't it? It's an amazing journey. I think that the progression from your desire and awareness that you wanted to be able to read music, and then to learn not just to read it, but to use that skill to write it down, and then the process of that people from another country playing your music, and then your own um, fellow um uh, neighbors, people from your own country, being able to look at this and say, "That's that's my music," and feel that sense of pride that it's being performed in other countries, something that would not have been even something aware, and now being introduced to them in a different form because of what you've been
Yes.
able to accomplish. And that, for classical guitar, has been served to awaken an interest in learning the classical guitar as well. Off our interview, we talked just a little bit about how this has been historically true for other composers that in the Western world we might make comparisons. And I mentioned that with Bach's own life, J.S. Bach, and probably one of our most significant composers, that he lost his mother and his father by at an early age. He was only maybe 12 when he had to live with his brother, and that he didn't have the opportunity to go to university. He had to learn the craft, that way. But it was through his ability to read music that he could experience music outside of the town that he lived in. And until recently, that really was just the way that the world was. And in a sense, it could have just been this way today, except that you've taken your skill and hard work to be able to not only preserve but to enrich the traditions that you have, share them with the world. I think that there is great things for you ahead in first interview and our first meeting, by the way, to those who are listening and watching. Um, he has a special project that maybe you'll want to just say a few words, and then I want to make sure that people will know how they can get a hold of you and how they can support your work, so that
Yeah.
way we can be able to broaden that influence.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter. For me, I see a need for me to continue arranging music from different tribes of Nigeria and also extend it to other tribes in West Africa. This is something I've been doing by myself. I've sold some of my properties. Most of my projects is being funded by myself and based on music research, going to field, traveling to different places, getting an interpreter, getting to meet with old women, old men that knows different folk songs, getting to buy them gifts. All of these things, I had to do it with my money. And at a point, it's getting more than what I can do. And I'm really getting to have no money left with me again. And it will be a very lovely one for me if I can say institutions or organizations that can support my ethno music project, ethno music research, and that can also fund my kind of writings and also improvement. For someone like me, I did not attend any music institution, and not that there are not music institution in my country, attending music institution that doesn't have a classical guitar program. So I had to learn myself online and get to meet people who taught me how to write for the guitar. So for me, I see it that there's a need for me to improve on myself on ethnomusic research. At a point, I said it to myself, I would love to meet people who are very experienced in this field. And maybe in an institution, maybe getting to meet them, writing to them, who can also work with me. I have so many music right now that I am supposed to arrange this month. At a point, even what I'm using to arrange my laptop got faulty. I can't proceed because I lack fund to continue with all of this kind of project. Most of the money I use in traveling, in making all of these materials, in fetching these materials is from me. It's my personal money. Sometimes I have to sell my property to make this work out. But right now, I am in need. I lack so many things to proceed. So if I can get people who can get to support my project, who can finance my ethnomusic research, my movement from one state to another, from one ethnic to another, I will be so happy. Then I can bring more music. There are over 500 tribes in Nigeria. So there is a lot of materials, there's a lot of folk music I can get to write with guitar, for the guitar. So I need fund, I need support from my project. I need to work with experienced ethnomusicologists. I need to work with experienced classical guitar arrangers. I need to work with experienced classical guitar performer that can perform all of this music when we get to write them for the guitar. So these are things I really love. And if there are institutions where I can study more about ethnomusicology, at a point this year, I wrote to University of California, Los Angeles. I got to see one of their the professor's emails there. I just wrote to him if there are possibilities. Someone like me right now in Nigeria here, it is not possible for me to be able to finance myself to study abroad. If there are possibility of me getting to study in UCLA or any other music, most especially in USA, that I can get to learn more about ethnomusicology, that I can get to meet people who do the same thing I do in other countries. I will be so happy. I can gain more knowledge from them. They can impact me with their experience, and which I can bring back to Africa here to continue with my project. So I have a lot to offer, but I need to improve. I need to improve on myself. So I'm looking forward to people who love this project to support me, and I also look forward to institutions that can fund my project and institutions that offer scholarship maybe for me to study and improve. And what I really love to go to study is ethnomusicology. Can I get to improve on this field research in music, in ethnic music? So these are things I need. My challenge, I need to get more people to support what I do, cultural organizations, institutions, people that can fund this kind of project. My challenge, I need to improve more. I need to meet people who can perform. I need to meet people in ethnomusicology field who have experience more than I do. I want to learn more on what to do. All of this music I wrote, I did it myself. And I believe if I can get to meet people more with experience, I can get better than this. So I just need to meet people more to help me in all I do. Yes.
I know there are lots of institutions that can teach some of the things that you're talking about. I think the most important is being connected to people who have musical experience in composition, arranging, and who have a passion and a commitment towards the goals that you have. To let people know at this point is what they can do to contact you. We'll put that information on this video, and the kind of things that you need. Thus concludes this portion of our interview. We will follow up with another interview to where you can talk about Chocolate Africa, your special project, and I hope that listeners will tune in for that. It was a pleasure spending time with you, and I hope things go really well in your current projects and future projects.
Thank you so much, Peter. It's an amazing time spent with you. I am so happy that we get to discuss all of this. And thanks so much for your encouragement. This is really fantastic moment for me. I appreciate everything. Thanks. Yes.